We're back for potentially the final time today. I'm Penguin, I'm joined by Trouble, as always. And we're into our final potential game of the day. I hate that I have to put it like an asterisk on it every time. It's just like, well, maybe it depends on the result. But
I think the explanation is a little bit easier right now.
Yes.
If WLGaming win this game,
we have another one.
We have a tiebreaker.
But if Vodafone Giants win, we don't have a tiebreaker.
No,
Giants go first seed. They take first seed, and that is also important because right now, we talked about the importance of it. You mentioned it very, very briefly, but Giants Gaming are the only SLO team as of right now that are in top 8. And this is a team that hasn't missed top 4 ever in EU Masters history. They've always had a team in top 4. I really want to see a dominant game from these guys.
I feel like right now, if we're talking SLO, Giants is your only hope.
Yeah, as of right now.
Have not locked. So for now, this is the team you're looking at and you're like, yes, if we're going to the finals, it's going to be them. So
it has to be them.
It has to be them. We're looking for a dominant performance from the side of Giants, not taking any stuff their way,
Yep.
Being clear and clean and polished.
No, they're Spanish.
I swear.
Anyway,
I knew I shouldn't have said it. I knew you'd do this to me.
We'll jump into the bans as we go on towards our first pick of this potential last game. But Graves, Set, and Renekton banned away with the Akali, Hecarim, and the Caitlyn as well. Vodafone Giants still looking like they want to lock themselves in a safe mid laner for Pretty in that mid lane.
That's a very Giants thing to do. Like, if there was a LeBlanc, you could potentially see the first pick. But I do like the Ashe, or potentially jungle. The Nidalee gets locked in here. But I do find the Ashe extremely strong. And Bananitoo really thrives at playing these supportive sort of ADs. So I would be more than surprised if WLGaming didn't straight up lock it here.
Yeah, I completely agree. You got an opportunity to kind of go for that. Nidalee incredibly strong. You can see they were kind of almost angling towards that, banning the Graves, first picking the Nidalee. Got a lot of agency with that jungler, potentially in all the solo lanes. We're going to see the Ashe locked in. I'm not going to talk about it just yet because it's not locked in, but like you said, Ashe locked in there for the bot lane of WLGaming. Honestly, it's been pretty standard. It has had good times and bad times depending on who's using it, but a lot of utility there for that ADC.
Yeah, ooh, Warden locking in one of his signature picks, the Lucien. Lucien historically today hasn't done very well.
Had one game.
Yeah.
And didn't do great.
Wasn't that great?
No. I think it's almost kind of like, you're looking at Kire and it was a skill check. There's stat checks and there's skill checks. Lucien is definitely a skill check kind of champion. Like, I can just outplay you.
I think so is Nidalee, though.
Sometimes, if she lands a spear.
In a different way, right? So Nidalee is kind of like this 50-50 champion where you're like, if you get ahead in the early game, then you can be extremely oppressive to whatever jungler you're against. But Lucien is like the other side of the spectrum where you like have to make plays or I'm just going to be a kick later on in the game.
Yeah, you're literally just a glorified CC at that point in time, unfortunately, for the Lucien. But the Lucien locked in, as is the Nautilus. So we can see that Lucien potentially flex into the top or mid. Pretty sure it's going to be going into towards the mid lane, which means they are locked in there for Pretty, giving him a lot of good kind of pressure there, making sure he has the push, going towards kind of getting him to free up the rest of the map.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised to also see the Antonio onto the Lucien because we've seen him play the cannon, so he can't play ranged up the top lane. You enjoyed his cannon performances.
I did.
Me, not so much.
I did. I quite like the Antonio. He's been around the scene.
I like the Antonio. Yeah. I didn't necessarily like the cannon.
I just think that the guy he's definitely more of a tank player, famous for his choga.
He's the Rock of Giants.
Literally the Rock.
Yeah.
He doesn't move, and I feel like putting him on the Lucien doesn't make a huge amount of sense in my head, but you never know. It could be a secret sneaker pick that he's been pushing out towards that top side. Leona locked in there, so a very hard CC engage coming out from that bot lane of the WLGaming.
Usually when you see the Nautilus locked in, you want to reply with something also very aggressive. That will most likely be the Leona. Sometimes you do see the Thresh as well. But I do like the aggression here because there's a lot of pick potential within the kick, the Ashe arrow, and all the Leona CC. There's just so much engage plus disengage for the side of WLGaming. I would like to see another frontline potentially going up to IceBreaker. I know we've been beating him up today with all these tags. That's not the IceBreaker we were used to seeing in the first week, but someone has to take the bullet in the team and play the tank.
Yep, Ornn's still available as well. We actually see the Aatrox banned away. Not something that...
That's so interesting.
Yeah, I was going to say, not something that we've seen at all.
That's an IceBreaker pick, for sure.
But in this current meta, I don't know.
I'm just not sure how it would work versus the Nidalee plus Nautilus. I think it would be extremely hard to play against these two specific champions. Plus, right now, Aatrox is not at its best.
He's
but
not.
it's still IceBreaker.
He's had better days.
Yeah.
He's definitely had better days. Talia going to be the final ban. That was Paris's pick in the what we'll call a show match earlier on today, but not going to be able to get that one for himself either. Just making sure they're not on comfort, I suppose, in the last 2 bans. But we'll see now what do We Love Gaming want to pick up and what do they leave for counter picks. They've yet to pick their solo lanes.
I think you have mid and top. If you're planning on putting IceBreaker on a tank, I would put it here, and or not. You will pick it here anyway for IceBreaker.
Yeah, you just pick it. You had that part right.
And then you will go to counter pick for Paris because I feel like he has been the big star for the Greek team so far. So I think he deserves the counter pick in the mid lane. His LeBlanc is still open and available. So does he see something squishy, something he wants to play it into? I see it happening a lot. Seeing the Camille though, his Gala performance has been one of the best we've seen in EU Masters. So I wouldn't be surprised for that either.
Yeah, the Sion locked in with
OG.
Yeah, it is going to be the Sion into that top lane. We have seen it flex depending on, we actually saw it into an Akali at some point.
There is absolutely no flex here.
No,
this
it's
is
a
the
Tamiana.
Antonio Sion.
I wanted to try and play devil's advocate there for a second,
but it's not happening
but no,
here.
It's not going to happen. It's going to be the Sion locked in, almost certainly going to the Antonio. And the last pick here is your AD carry. It looks like they're looking at 200 years of experience. Aphelios locked in.
We haven't seen an Aphelios in so long.
Has been hit with the nerf
I was about
ballot.
to say, he's taken so many
hard.
beatings over and over again. They wouldn't have his 2 guns, then they wouldn't have the other 2, then they wouldn't have the ultimate, then they wouldn't have him.
At one point, they did around and said 4 magic resistance. That's what's making him OP, and everyone was like, okay. Of course, I don't balance games. I don't know what's involved in it, so I'm not going to be too harsh on them. But something that's kind of slipped through the pick and bans in general today has been the Twist of Fate. Something that globally has very, very much been prioritized and does open up a lot of those side lane plays.
Honestly, coming from the NLC, Twisted Fate had been such a prior pick for everyone. It was either a pick or a ban, because you can just influence the entire map so easy. And also, he has so many good matchups in the mid lane, because the Lucien will have to go in and engage, but the Twisted Fate plays from so much distance, and also you have a gold card, so you're forcing the Lucien to go cleanse here. He's not gonna have teleport, he's not gonna have ignite if you would like to play aggressive, so now you influence them up even further because you've got your ultimate and your teleport to get onto different lanes.
Yeah, the only ignite on this entire board was on the Leona in the bot side, so you can tell very defensive from Giants.Gaming, very respectful, I feel, with the 2 cleanses going onto the Aphelios and the Lucien. But right now, it feels like We Love Gaming kind of got what they wanted from this draft as we jump onto the Rift. And Giants.Gaming, they've got to show us what they showed us earlier today. They've got to come in and really put down the pain, as we know they can do, in order to lock themselves in to that #1 spot.
And I feel that both of these teams went into this game with 2 plans. One is, let's team fight. We have the we have the looks for it. We have the scaling with the Ashe, the Aphelios. Up in the top lane, you've got tanks, you've got Camille that's scaling very well. But also, if that doesn't go well, they both have a 1-3-1 scenario. Twisted Fate Camille, notorious split pushers. Sion with the Lucien also can split push if they want to. So I think it depends who gets ahead from the laning phase that might actually start the trend of the split push and try to pull them up apart.
And overall, looking at these 2 sides, we talked about Paris in the earlier game today having a fantastic, tournament regardless of results. Has looked very, very competitive. Again, someone who's been around the side, the teams for so long. But on Giants, there's so many names you could mention here as people who you would argue are star players for this team. The Antonio been around for absolutely ages. Pretty as well been around the scene. And oh dear, Warden. Oh, they're just going to wait. They know they haven't been seen. The dredge line completely misses. He will get out with his life
so
barely. So damn lucky that they missed out on that dredge line. But they will only lose a summoner. They won't lose much else. And then they will continue themselves on this invade. But overall, very, very solid start, as the Antonio actually did do the old school Sion start. I'm actually going to see a lane swap as well. I love this coming out from Giants. They used the Sion into his zombie form to take away the red buff. They swap up towards the top lane. They are throwing a massive spanner in the works into We Love Gaming.
Here's the deal. Nidalee is an amazing farmer. She will out-farm Lucien for sure, and Lucien is the early game playmaker. He needs to get ahead, which means he needs farm, he needs the levels, he needs the experience, and the gold. Now, it's been dried out away from him because the Nidalee took the top side of the map together with the 3-man invade, and Sion has cleared the bot side of the map. So the Lucien only has 1 quadrant of a jungle to clear for himself, and he's gonna constantly be behind.
Nice little deterrent there from Bananitoo and Mersa to make sure that they do not get the full XP of the camp, full gold either. So just trying to do little small advantages as they do eventually return the favor of this lane swap. So we have got regular lanes just reversed as such, but with a red buff on this Sion, actually it's wasted out already. So it doesn't even get to keep it for that much longer than I expected.
Warden might look to go towards that bot side and actually punish the guy that took away the bot quadrant of the jungle. I think getting Camille ahead here would be a great idea.
Hookshot does miss. The Antonio has got flash available to himself. There is a huge minion wave. The Q does not land. That means Warden is out. That was just too big of a stack of a minion wave. They couldn't deal with all those casters.
And also, Sion is doing so much damage early on because, as you see, he has extra HP. I couldn't say the word. Extra HP and extra armor from the two items that he went back into lane with. So it's impossible for two AD damage dealers to take him down that early on. Plus, of course, as you mentioned, the mini wave was absolutely huge, and that is even more time that Warden is wasting into his jungle, and Lamabear is getting further ahead. He's already one level up.
So, Warden looking for another return gang, but the Antonio feels it in his bones and backs himself up. He has got the teleport to return to lane with the Cinder Hulk built up as well. Means he's going to be able to be another tanky boy, as well as having a hell of a lot of health. And overall, just wasting time here from Warden, not really gaining anything at all. Just information that the Sion's not there.
But you kind of knew that. I think he stayed around because sometimes you do camp into that bot lane bush and then your jungler comes, and then when you're trying to push the wave, this is where the gank happens. So you kind of have to stay safe and make sure your top lane is alive.
Oh, the edge of the wall there, saving Mersa from a hell of a lot more pain as he was just not fully brought back for the extra passive.
You know what
CC.
I would have believed if it actually hit Leona.
Yeah.
That would have been more believable for a Nautilus.
For a Nautilus going in. But speaking of going in, IceBreaker now finding himself at a 2v1, but is backing away pretty promptly as he has spotted out Lamabear on this Nidalee, just pushing in forward, and you can see the Antonio just trying to do his best to CS and keep himself away.
That is pretty genius. I saw the bot lane starting to walk towards the bot side. I don't know if they're still gonna do it because there's an Infernal Dragon that would be really beneficial for them, especially having a Nidalee, and of course starting to stack up the dragons, but they're gonna choose to do otherwise.
Yeah, trying to commit to this lane swap, trying to keep IceBreaker down.
They're trying to avoid the Leona Ashe lane so much.
But that does, as you said, give priority to this bot side to WLGaming with that Infernal Drake spawning. So, and Lucien, one of the few junglers in the game that has got that presence to be able to take that early dragon without pretty much any help at all. So overall, I feel like WLGaming should have the priority to go for it. However, they are just 100% just trading waves right here. And overall, like looking at the CSs in those two lanes, it's pretty much Giants who are coming out on top.
So what I really like that Giants are doing right here is the fact that we saw Simivac on that Camille. When he got one kill, he popped off. IceBreaker might be in a lot of trouble here, though.
Oh, he is trying to just avoid Lamabear here. Has got the hook shot available, so should be able to get away, but he's losing a hell of a lot of experience from this wave.
He has 26 CS. He hasn't been able to get anything ever since that lane swap.
Oh, as I say, that dredge line lands. There's going to be the Destiny as well, so that means a 3v3 up in this top side, but the Infernum is being used. There's the Lucien for the first blood. They're trying to catch out Lamabear, but TP committed by the in total. It ends up being a 5v3, and he is caught out. Paris goes down. It ends up being 2 quick kills going over the side of Vodafone Giants.
And this is so crazy considering that you have the Twisted Fate, you have the tools to be around the map. If you WLGaming much faster, a 5-man stack for Giants was so snappy that WLGaming were not expecting it. They lose the priority on the top side. They're gonna be losing plates to that Aphelios that needs a while to start stacking up this gold, these items to get to that 200 years of experience that we've been saying over and over again. And if we see this again, I think IceBreaker is just not respecting the numbers advantage on the top side, because you know that Lucien is not mid lane, so he's gonna be going up top. IceBreaker goes straight in, gets dunked in the face by the anchor, and even though they bring in Paris on the Twisted Fate, he doesn't have any items to do damage, whilst Lucien is the king of early game. They call in the Sion as well, just as the cherry on top of the cake.
I don't even think it was a disrespect of the numbers advantage. I feel like they just felt like they could take a 3v3, didn't respect the fact that the Lucien was roaming up, and just felt that they could kill someone quickly and get back underneath the tower. All in all, though...
But the thing is, for Giants, the 2 members missing was the Lucien roaming up and the top laner having teleport in the bot lane. Your 2 members missing can't get there. It's the Ashe and the Leona all the way down bot with no teleport. So you just have to respect the map pressure and the tools that are given to you to travel the map, fast or not.
Yeah, completely agree on that particular point. You have to play with a little bit more respect if you're on the side of WLGaming. And overall, this Camille pick, it is something that I feel like IceBreaker can play, but it has been completely silenced in this game so far, in this early game. Not being able to farm, not being able to get anything at all going for them. You can see it's a pitiful amount of items that he's picking up there. Just absolutely nothing that's going to help him in this lane.
Uh-oh, Paris?
Paris is just straight up dead. There's nothing he can do here. Fantastic unstoppable force. Seriously, not the unstoppable force, that's the Malphite one. But either way, gets himself the kill. And this is kind of looking like Giants. This is looking like they're just, you know, taking all advantages.
This is Giants all the way. They win here, they take the first seed. SLO #1 in this group. This is the hopes of the Spanish region in this team. We thought it was Movistar, but all in all, it has always been Giants that have been performing out of groups, and they're looking pretty good to take it all home here. It is 2,000 gold difference between these 2 teams, only 9 minutes into the game. So many turret platings going down, fitting even more gold now into the Nidalee and the Lucien. This is absolutely disastrous. 9-minute mid lane tower.
Yep, 9-minute mid lane tower, and try saying that 3 times fast, and you're getting yourself a hell of a lot of gold on the top side as well. 1 plate left to take and plenty of time to take it. And overall, this is just Giants. This is exactly what we said we wanted to see from them. Dominance, absolute pure dominance coming out against WLGaming. There's a ward that's spotted at the Lucien, so you can see straight away the Aphelios and the Nautilus just backing themselves up. They don't even get anything right there. They do land themselves the Crystal Hour. They will find themselves a consolation prize. A little bit of a mistake there from Erdote. So overall, it does end up working out for WLGaming. Feel like Vodafone Giants didn't need to play that greedy.
Yeah, but that's what I like to see from WLGaming. You overstep, you get instantly punished. That's what you need to be doing when you have the Twisted Fate. You have to be dictating the way the side lanes are going to be playing. The fact that they need to actually respect you now, even if you are 4,000 gold in the lead, only 10 minutes in, that Twisted Fate can still be impactful. And taking down the Nautilus means that Attila needs to be a little bit more respectful walking forward. Not that he's too respectful right now, because he's halfway across the lane, but yeah. In general, that's the idea.
In general. Salute, in general. But overall, I still think Giants look fantastic right now. They got themselves a 4,000 gold lead. They've got themselves pressure completely all over this top side of the map. A couple of small mistakes here or there, but right now, they're looking clean. And it's on to WLGaming to use those ultimates, to use the Enchanted Crystal Hour, to use the Destiny, to find those little small picks to get themselves back into this game.
Here's the thing with the WLGaming composition is that you have to make a pick work, or you're not going to be able to get away from a Lucien, and Nidalee, and Aphelios, and a Nautilus. Never mind the Sion running you down with the ultimate. So if that first initial pick, if the Crystal Arrow, if the gold card doesn't get someone killed instantly, your fight is lost.
Unstoppable Onslaught. I looked it up.
There you go. That's what you were looking at just now?
I had to, because I was like, I know this. It's Unstoppable something, but it's not Unstoppable Force. That's Malphite. It's Unstoppable Onslaught. You know, neither are stoppable. One's just a lot longer than the other, as we can see a little bit of handbags in this bot lane.
I don't think IceBreaker wins that.
Maybe not, as the Unstoppable Onslaught comes in, and he will definitely win it now with a 2v1. The flash is in vain, but the rest of Giants are coming in. They will not be able to find anybody, though, as the flashes and the hook shots are good. And that is overall a good pick from WLGaming.
Beautiful proactivity coming here from Warden. They know that they've been starving IceBreaker. He goes down there, gets the kill, frees his bot laner. There is no objectives on the map for Giants to take while they're chasing. IceBreaker wants more.
IceBreaker wants more, but he is not aware that there is a Lamabear sitting in the back half of his jungle. And that is just a very, very greedy play that is punished rightfully by Giants.
Is it a llama or is it a bear?
He's a Lamabear.
But is it a llama or is it a bear?
I don't think I'm at liberty to tell you that.
We should ask him, probably.
Yeah, I think he is the only man he's the only man on this earth who can tell us. But in that particular instance, he was a cougar.
Fair enough.
And he got the kill.
There's 3 animals on that champion, on that particular player. Well, the gold lead keeps rising and rising. 6,000 is the difference in gold. 12 only minutes into this game. You would think that it's doomed, absolutely doomed for WLGaming. And it looks like this, right? 6,000 gold onto the Lucien, only 4,000 onto the Twisted Fate. If you look on the ADC difference, it is 2,500 gold. The differences between the 2 carries of the teams is immense.
Yeah, and the fact that is that Lucien is going back with 2,000 gold in pocket, is going to now buy whatever the hell he wants to buy to continue this snowball, is going to go towards the Berserker Greaves and the BF sword. So just basically making sure that coming into this kind of fight, he is just absolutely massive. And there, the Destiny was popped because he just didn't know where anyone was. They could not go for anything.
But you have wards on the top quadrant of the jungle from Lamabear. You know if somebody's going to walk to you, and then Giants also walk down the mid lane. I thought, I'm not sure what the Destiny was.
Very scared. Just very, very scared. Just didn't have full actual vision of what was going on around him. Maybe felt like he was in a little bit of danger and needed to get the hell out as he pushed up that wave. But overall, that is a tool that they cannot use inside of WLGaming for at least another minute or so.
At least it will be up when the Dragon comes up as well in 3 minutes and 50 seconds. And the good thing that still stands for WLGaming is that they have been actually able to pick one Dragon.
Your sacrifice is valiant, and we thank you for your service. Eventually, as you do go down,
Anytime now.
Attila does go down. It is a broken stopwatch as the time does not, as time does stop. But fantastic pick there from the side of Vodafone Giants, and unfortunately for WLGaming, a little bit of miscommunication. Bananitoo just not telling his support that he was going to flash away from that ultimate, and the Moonlight Vigil just catching him off the backside of that. The culling comes out, Paris backs away, and Pretty says that he's the better Greek player.
I do believe that even if he flashed away from that ultimate, if Mersa wasn't there to stop the continuous engage right after that, saying that Paris
does not get hit by the dredge line, and that's pretty important. They have not got any real ultimates to use now in this kind of follow-up. They land the gold card, but it's onto the Nautilus. Not really the target you want to be hitting.
There's so many things flying right, left, and center from the side of Giants. There's anchors, there's spears, there's like light bulbs from the light bulbs? No, light
slingers?
Sparks?
From who? Who are you talking?
The Lucien. Like a light spark?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't call it a spark. Definitely not light bulbs, but
it's not a bulb for sure.
Yeah.
So you see that Mersa stood in the middle because the dredge line could land, the spear could land, Lucien had the culling there. He could pop it onto Bananitoo, so they would kill him. And Banan is like, well, I overstepped. Thanks for dying for me.
Thank you. Thank you for your service. And overall, again, we're looking at
I'll make sure to tell the boss.
We're looking at 6,000 gold lead. This gold lead slowly creeping away now from the side of WLGaming. And Giants, I'm loving this right now from them. This is controlled. This is tempered. This is exactly what we want to see from them going into the quarterfinals. You know, later on in this tournament, this is the kind of gameplay you want to see, so that it makes people genuinely think about what they can play against you.
And it's the same thing as with Pompa in the previous game. Vodafone Giants here saw what happened to the Camille. They take this as a learning curve and they completely choke down IceBreaker, picking that Camille, hoping to have the same impact as Simivac in the previous one. Pretty might have overextended.
He might have overextended just a little bit. The cleanse cannot save you now, and there's the Antonio jumping in. He has got the Nidalee for support, as well as the Attila and the Nautilus coming in. The whole team is here. It's a 4v3. The rest of the side of WLGaming are trying to come in. The hookshot will land and get him out, but not quite far enough as Attila picks himself up. Another kill. It's a double kill for the AD carry on Giants as the Unstoppable Onslaught comes out to cut off the escape route. It could well be a triple. It's not. It's going to be stolen straight away, as we can see Warden just trying to run away from the rest of Vodafone Giants. Overall, lose 1, gain 3. You take that trade.
I have to say, Vodafone Giants have their own fate in their own hands, and so far they're driving it absolutely home. Bananitoo, though, is going to be in a lot of trouble, and as my friend Chronicler would say, Vodafone Giants have no chill.
absolutely no chill. But a TP coming in. It is on top of awards. They do know that this is coming in.
Who do you think that would be?
They know exactly who it is. It's going to be IceBreaker popping in on top of this. There's another TP coming in on the backside near the Dragon as well. They're just trying to delay this one as Dragon is up in 30 seconds. They're trying to see if they can get any health bars low, but here comes Pretty. He is full mana, full health, full items that he needs, and already Paris is already chunked out. They jump in with their Nidalee. Maybe they can go for something here. They are almost, yes, going to be able to pick themselves up a kill, but what do they lose? It's a 2 for 2 overall. The jungler still survives, though, from the side of WLGaming. They could maybe contest this Dragon for a steal.
That was so absolutely messy, and as you see, the HP bars from the remaining members of Vodafone Giants are still pretty high on HP. Warden might look to get a cheeky steal out there. He could. He has a smite.
He is a little too late, though. Cannot get his Q out. That was Pretty dashing into the wall, so he will not be able to follow up with a kill. But overall, another Dragon going over to the side of Vodafone Giants. They get themselves an 8,000 goal lead, and this game is looking pretty much all but done right now.
I just have to say, on the man who has not died a single time in this game, and that man is obviously going to be Attila. Of course, I'm gonna continue right after this because Pretty right here feels way too overconfident walking into a lane when a Twisted Fate and TPs are coming down, but Giants are clearly 6,000 gold ahead, and it shows the damage that they're doing. They managed to pin down everyone. Erdote is doing so much work, and the man who grabs the double kill, Attila, he was also featured on the LEC. You know, it's also the veterans that want to show a great appearance in EU Masters, get picked up back onto the LEC, say maybe something was not going that great back then, but I've learned, I've become better, and I'm back. And Attila is definitely back.
Attila 6-0-4 has himself a full bounty on his head. As we can see, the Rift Herald was taken here by Vodafone Giants. We're almost about to, say, lose that one as they do pop it off towards that mid lane. That's going to create a pressure point there. IceBreaker looking for this again, but this time the side of Vodafone Giants are ready, and I think he feels that push coming in. Now he reveals himself. Warden is there. It's a 2v2 for now, but for not much longer. Jumps in with the Hextech ultimatum, but everybody is here. And that's going to be a quick kill going over to the side of Lamabear. And Warden's just like, I'm sorry, dude. I got to go. I can't help you here. And while that was all happening, mid lane being pushed in by the Rift Herald, Shelly able to pick herself up the tower in the advantage of Vodafone Giants. And this is just decimation across all lanes. There's nothing WLGaming can do. There's no response they can get. They're just losing on all fronts.
I know, honestly, I think it's a show-off from Giants on what they can do. We talked about the major region teams coming in and smashing the minor region teams. All the teams that they would consider, you know, weaker on paper, if you will.
And this is an on-spawn Baron. They will be spotted out by the Hawk shot, though. So the side of Vodafone Giants limit testing a little bit, shall we call it.
Warden has one last reply, and it could be this.
Dredgeline misses. They do get the CC down on top of one Dragon, or Baron down to about 3,000 HP, though. Need to be very careful. The exhaust comes down. Now Vodafone Giants, they just completely tear off the Baron. They don't want to take it. The unstoppable onslaught is dodged out. They're trying to see if they can get anyone else out of this one, but it's a very, very messy fight right now. They get the jump in. They're trying to get him out. The shockwave, or sorry, the shockwave land, and they go in on top with the Lucien. They're trying to go for it. It's a double kill for the Nidalee. The Sion does drop. It's a 2-for-1 in favor of Giants, but they're not going to care because they're the ones that are just so far ahead. It doesn't matter.
You know, we have a saying in Greece, I say this all the time, but we have two men and I always translate them in English. They say, you throw in empty nets when you fish and you get full, which means that you throw in a bait, but you get much more from it. And this is exactly what Giants did here. I don't think Paris can actually steal though with the catch.
He had to try.
That would be insane.
He had to try.
But that was a great showing from Giants because they know they have the numbers in their pockets to take the fights back to WLGaming. And as we see this one more time, Warden tries to get anywhere near. Giants bail. They're like, we're not going to take the 50-50 because we're too far ahead to take the 50-50 right now. And that is the correct approach, even when you're 7k ahead that early into the game. The Antonio tanks forever the entire team, 4 members, and no one can kill that beast, whilst the rest of Vodafone Giants are taking care of the entirety of WLGaming. That was very well played.
Bit scrappy at the start, felt like there was a little bit of miscommunication as to what they want to do, but as you said, once they decided what they wanted to do, they turned, they got themselves the kill, they now have themselves a 10,000 gold lead. This game is all but done, I feel, and Vodafone Giants, IceBreaker feeling a little antsy And he is almost certainly not going to be able to take this fight as the rest of Vodafone Giants jump in. A flash in there from Pretty and Lamabear with his 6th kill of the game. He is having an absolute fantastic performance.
You couldn't find a word from S?
I was going to say stunning performance, but, you know, stunning in this game, it doesn't really work. But this could potentially be the last push, Trouble. You see now we go forward into this one here. They're going to try and get the last fight coming in. Leona goes down. That's all they have left in the tank. There's no real CC. The Lucien survives. The Twitch of Fate is gone. And Vodafone Giants put on a clinic here today as they start to push in with this Baron buff. It is 23 minutes or just under on the clock. And this has been decimation of WLGaming.
It's a 3v5. Can they do it?
I don't believe they can, Trouble. And that's unfortunate for them, as they just see their Nexus turret starting to fall.
IceBreaker, one more fight. Give us one more fight.
IceBreaker at 2-7, puts up the thumbs up. He knows it's all over. It's their final game at EU Masters Summer 2020, but Vodafone Giants will be the ones to take this win. They will take first seed in this group from Misfits Premier, and the SLO have got themselves a hope.
A hope? I would say they've got a great chance into going to the finals and taking it all. I was the first one to put my hand on SLO and say, these guys look incredible. I put my faith in Movistar, but it is Vodafone Giants. Their first game in the groups looked horrendous. They went down without a single fight. They didn't have soul, they didn't have fire in them. They came back from that one game and they were absolutely unstoppable.
Yeah, I completely agree. We're going to break that game down and the group down a little more after this break. We'll see you guys then.